What's up guys, back again with another pickups video, and this time not as long as a delay as the last couple pickups videos. This is pickups videos for February and March this month. A lot of stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and see what I got. So first things first is Time Crisis with the G-Con 45 gun, and this is the bundle. And I did have this before years ago and I sold it to a friend, so I'm kind of glad that I picked this up again because I played this so many times in the past. It was really fun with the gun, one of my favourite Time Crisis. The only thing is this one isn't 2-player, it's single player only, and it comes in pretty good condition. As you can see, even the case is hardly, well, there is a scratch on the back, but it kind of looks like it's hardly been played. Manual's crisp, and the disc isn't that scratched. The gun looks fine as well. Again, looks hardly been used, so I'm glad to have this back in the collection. I think when I first got it, like as a kid, I wasn't even allowed to get it because the guy who sold it to me was like, oh, this game's a 15, and I had to get like someone else to buy it for me, and this was like in Blockbuster. And I think back then this was pretty expensive, like almost £50. I must have saved up so much just to get this game, but it was worth it because I played the crap out of it. It also came with this game, Time Crisis Project Titan, which I've never played before. I must have completely missed this when this came out. I don't think it's like a full-fledged Time Crisis. I think it's like 1.5 or something. I don't know. I need to try this out though. I'm sure it'll be just as fun as the first one. I forgot to mention, I think I picked this up, well, I can remember, this was from eBay. I think I picked it up for like under £20 for both of them. So that was a pretty good deal for that. Moving on, we have, I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right, Ergies or Erguys, God Bless the Ring, developed by Squaresoft, and from what I believe this is the only Squaresoft fighting game, 1v1 fighting game. Cool thing about this game is that it has Final Fantasy 7 characters in it, some of them, mainly, well, the most popular ones, like Cloud, Tifa, Sephiroth. I think it's got Yuffie and Vincent in it, which is pretty cool. Kind of, I don't know if I could say rare game. Not many people know of this game. I'm not sure how well it did when it first came out, but this game can be pretty pricey on eBay. And this is in good condition, as you can see. I did like a little gameplay of it in my previous videos, and I enjoyed it. It was quite fun. There's also like a side game to it where it's still like a beat 'em up, but it has like RPG elements. That was also on that video that I did. What was it called? I can't remember what it was called, but that was something different, and I didn't realise they kind of added this, or added that sort of beat 'em up, sort of like a Final Fight beat 'em up RPG game, side game, along with the arcade 1v1 traditional beat 'em up. Another thing is it has like mini games, and they were pretty fun. Quite a lot of stuff on this game to keep you going, and I definitely recommend picking this up, just because it's one of those weird Squaresoft games. Next up we got the original Tekken, and it comes with the original PS1 box, and I actually prefer these kind of cardboard boxes for PS1. Don't know why they didn't stick with this instead of the standard jewel cases, because the jewel cases can crack easily. But anyway, the original Tekken, made by Namco, wasn't my favourite Tekken game. My favourite was Tekken 2, because this was kind of more slower and has hardly any of the moves that we remember from these characters. But it's one for the collection, and it comes in pretty good condition. And I like kind of playing the old Tekken games anyway, now and then. Mainly because of the music and stuff. I really enjoy Tekken soundtracks. But yeah, Tekken, original Tekken in good condition. Moving on, we have Street Fighter X plus A. And this is the very first 3D Street Fighter game. And I've never really played the original X games. I had, what was it? The one I got was X3 for the PS2, with Skull Mania and can't remember the rest of the characters. But you can do a tag team on that one. This one is just 1v1, and yeah, the first 3D Street Fighter game, which was a lot slower from what I can remember. Has all the original characters, and this came out in the arcades as well. But I've never really played the original. Like I said, I only played X3, but I did quite enjoy X3, considering it wasn't your traditional Street Fighter game. A lot more slower paced than what you're used to on the 2D games. But yeah, I need to pick up all these Street Fighter games anyway, so this came in pretty good condition. I'm glad to have the original X plus A. Moving on, another fighting game, and that is Battle Arena Toshinden. And I remember when the PS1 launched, the Battle Arena Toshinden games were pretty popular back then. And although I never owned it, I don't think I played it, or might have played it on the demo, but it was interesting for me because it was kind of it reminded me a bit like Soul Calibur or Soul Blade in a way, with kind of weird characters that all had weapons. And this was a 3D fighting game, which wasn't made by Namco. This was made by Takara. But I believe they made a couple of these games. I think maybe there's a 3 or more, I don't know. It's cool that I got this because like I said, never really played it or got into the series, and maybe I'll collect all the other Toshinden games. Yeah, and this is actually a Sony licensed, Sony published game, so it was first party fighting game for them. I'm surprised it never really caught on, or they made another one. God knows what happened to Takara, but yeah. That's the last of my fighting game, or PS1 fighting games. Right, moving on, we have Dino Crisis 1, Dino Crisis 2, and Dino Crisis 2, and this was bought from our local retro game store. Reasonable prices, probably sort of average you would pay for these, but they come in pretty good condition and with the manuals as well. Dino Crisis, basically your Resident Evil with dinosaurs and cheesy sort of storylines and voice actings and whatnot. Cool game. Never really completed it, but I played bits of it when I was younger, so I don't really know too much of the story or anything like that. But yeah, just overall cheesiness on this. I guess it's more actiony than survival horror, the Dino Crisis 2 games. Yeah, another one of those games that Capcom should bring out again, because There really isn't any sort of successful dinosaur games, like as of recent anyway. But it still has a following. Moving on, we have Ridge Racer, the original Ridge Racer, also bought from the same shop. This was $3.99, so the average price you'll pay on eBay for Ridge Racer. Comes in complete, but well, complete with the manual and stuff. And yeah, Ridge Racer, loved it when I was younger. Just really arcadey. Doesn't have the drift mechanics like the later ones do, which I prefer the Ridge Racers when you can drift on them. But I had to get this anyway because I want to start like completing my Ridge Racer collection at some point. And you can never go wrong with like Namco soundtracks on their games, and this is definitely one of my favourites. Well, Type 4 is actually my favourite Ridge Racer soundtrack game, but you know, if it wasn't for Ridge Racer then we wouldn't have Type 4. Last PS1 game we got is Ronin Blade, also bought from the same retro shop. This was $4.99, and this is a Konami game, and I've never actually played this. I just kind of looked at it and thought, oh, this is pretty cool. It's a samurai game, and from the back of it, kind of reminds me of Onimusha games. Onimusha mixed with Resident Evil. It's from the same makers of Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill. Don't really know too much about this game, but it does look good, and I would like to try it out. Haven't had the time to check it out. Like I said, it reminds me of Onimusha and Resident Evil. So, and it's a Konami game, so you can't really go wrong. I guess it kind of has that same formula as Silent Hill in a way. I think it's a bit older. It came out near enough at the same time. Ronin Blade. We have my PS3 pickups. There's only 3 of them. First off, it is Uncharted 2, and this is the Steelbook edition. And it is a game that I always wanted to get for a long time, because when this first came out, I kind of borrowed it off my friend and completed it, and like never ended up getting the game myself. But I'm kind of glad that I found this from CDX for like, it was only a couple pounds, I can't remember how much, like £4 maybe, for the Steelbook edition. And this is by far my favourite Uncharted game, Uncharted 2. Didn't really enjoy 3, well I did enjoy it, but not as much as number 2. Number 3 I felt it was a bit too rushed with the storyline, with them travelling here and there. And this one, the pacing for the story was just perfect, and the cinematic effects and stunts and all that. It was just a good game for me. Happy that I got the Steelbook for this. Right, next up we got Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. And this is like a Metal Gear Solid game that I never really played that much of. My friend had it when it first came out, and I kind of tried it on his, but never really got it myself. What I know from this game is it has a lot of cutscenes. That's pretty much what I know of it. But it does look good, it does look fun either way, and I'd like to try this out. My favourite Metal Gear Solid is probably the PS1, first PS1 Metal Gear Solid, and then number 2. Never really played the SNES, is it the SNES or the NES version. Glad to have this because I'm kind of trying to complete my Metal Gear Solid collection, and there are a few PSP ones that I'm missing, but I think I've covered, well, I've got all of the recent ones anyway. Last PS3 game we got is Resistance: Fall of Man. and I'm not too familiar with the Resistance games. I don't think I've ever played them before. This is developed by Insomniac Games, I think, and I know they've made a couple of these, and you can get these pretty cheap for the PS3 and PS2. But it's your like typical FPS game with like mutants or aliens and stuff. Set in a, I think it's set kind of like in the World War. Too 100% positive about that, but yeah, Resistance. I think maybe some of the later ones are co-op. I don't know, but they remind me of Killzone games. That's pretty much what I can say for them. But I'd like to try this out either way. So that's my PS3 pickups. Next up we have One Piece Pirates Carnival, and as you can see, this is a Japanese GameCube game, and it's been a while since I picked up a GameCube game. And it happens to be a One Piece one, my only One Piece game I've got right now. This is made by Bandai, and what's cool about these, especially the Japanese GameCube games, are I really love the boxes for these compared to your standard DVD case. And these all come with like a cardboard sleeve. There's something just cool about these. I don't know what it is. Haven't opened it yet or tried the game. This game is basically like your Mario Party, but One Piece. Just One Piece characters with different types of mini games. And I believe this, or they made this as well for the Western market. So there's an English release of this, and this was only like £5, which is, or $5, sorry, which is really surprising because most of these Japanese GameCube games are really expensive. I mean, you get some Western GameCube games that are a little bit pricey for what they should be, but I guess because since the Japanese ones are a bit more rare and hard to get over here, that like usually they are a little bit overpriced for what they are. But I was lucky to get this. It actually looks quite fun, so I did check what the game was about before I got it, and it's something that I would enjoy. I think this is my second Japanese GameCube game that I've got. Original one, which I got years ago, really long time ago, is this Naruto one. I think this is translated as Naruto Clash of the Ninjas 3. And yeah, just, I mean, it makes more sense for them to be in these cases considering how, you know, big or how small the discs are, and they just fit nicely on the shelf, the sleeves. But yeah, this is actually one of my favourite Naruto games, and I think they re-brought it out for the Wii as well. I want to get number 4, but number 4 is really hard to find because it has some of more of the bad guys. On this Naruto, it's like around about when Konoha first gets attacked by Orochimaru, so number 4 has all the sound ninjas as well. But yeah, I'm still looking out for it, one that isn't too expensive, and kind of build up my Japanese GameCube games because they are cool. Okay, so next up we have the Xbox 360 pickups. First off we got is Killer is Dead limited edition, and don't really know much about this game. All I know is I think it's like a sequel to No More Heroes. It's made by the same people. It has loads of different developers. Deep Silver's the European developers, I think. Kadokawa Games, Japanese. Grasshopper manufacturer, North American release, I think. I don't know. from, you know, from kind of playing some of the No More Heroes games. It's like your hack and slash anime type of game. Don't really know too much of the story, but the art style reminds me of like Catherine, like a lot of the Atlas games, and it looks fun. I've heard kind of good things about this. I think this might be a sequel to Killer 7, not too sure, but this is the limited edition and it's pretty good condition. Well, nothing wrong with it. Kind of glad to have this in my collection because I was quite intrigued with Killer is Dead when I first saw it, when it first come out, and I wanted to try it out. But yeah, this was only like £8, I think, £7, so it was £5, so it was worth getting anyway. Moving on, we got Prey, 3D rounds game, published by 2K, and this was pretty good. I did enjoy this game, kind of like Doom mixed with Duke Nukem maybe. Yeah, I enjoyed it when it first came out, and I am kind of sad that they didn't make a second one because I think there was rumours that there was going to be a Prey 2, but it never happened. Very cool FPS game and really cheap, really easy to find as well. If you guys haven't tried it out, I definitely recommend playing Prey. Next up we got Kengo Zero, and I'm guessing this is a sequel to the Kengo game, Kengo, the PS2, and this is your samurai fighting game. You see in the back, but it looks cool. This is pretty cheap as well. Just your typical samurai 1v1. Don't know if it's supposed to be like a kind of like a fighting simulator where you don't really have like all these wacky special moves, fireballs, anything like that. Just straight up 1v1 sword fighting. I've yet to try out the original Kengo on PS2. I picked that up a few months ago now. Yeah, this was developed by Majesco Entertainment. Oh, Genki, I've heard of them. Looks cool anyway. The last thing I got is a capsule toy, capsule figure. As you can see, this is from the Attack on Titans, and I've been watching the first season of it, and I'm really enjoying the anime. Very gory and dramatic as well. This is actually fairly detailed for such a small little statue. And yeah, this is from the Capsule Q characters collection, or Kyoto, and there's like 5 different ones you can collect. You see there's Levi, there's Armin, and 2 other Titan ones, and I want to try to collect some of these, collect the rest of them, because they're neat little capsule toys. But they are quite pricey though, especially when they're out of print. Last couple games, Jen got me Naruto Ninja Council for the DS, even though I don't own a DS, but I play it on hers. And this is like a Naruto game that I always wanted to try out. There is a couple different ones, but it's the sort of like 2D sprite version. I'd say it's like a platformy 2D beat 'em up, and you can also do 1v1 battles. And this starts off from the very beginning of Naruto, where you train with Kakashi. First time you meet Zabuza, which I don't think he's actually in here. Can't see him, but it's a cool Naruto game, and there is a lot more to get. So I'm kind of glad to be able to try this out, and I do need to get like a DS myself. And Jen also got Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the Game Boy Color, for nostalgic reasons. It's It's a game that she played a lot on the Game Boy Color, and I haven't actually seen much gameplay of this. This is unopened. This is also from the retro game store, local retro game store, and it's a THQ game. That's pretty much all I can say. Buffy was a cool show though. I did used to enjoy watching Buffy when it was aired. Okay, last game is Dragon Ball Xenoverse 15, and I played a bit of this and I am actually enjoying this, seeing as my experience on Dragon Ball games is hardly any, like I've hardly played any. I've only played short moments of it, trying it out. But this one is really cool because you kind of go back in time and you change the history as your own character, which is unheard of any Dragon Ball game, and you can level up that character. There's like 5 different races you can choose. You can kind of go back in time and sort of experience the classic fight scenes from the anime. I have watched the anime before, and yeah, and I'm liking the fighting style of it. If you've played like any of the Naruto Ninja Ultimate Ninja Storm game, then you'll be kind of familiar with the fighting style on this, because you kind of fly around everywhere. Very fast paced. So yeah, that's my pickups of February and March. A bit longer than expected it to be. Waffling on as I usually do, but hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be picking some more cool stuff soon.